Hey everybody, welcome, and I am excited today. I'm going to talk to you guys about really understanding how to use your perfector, which is our like little beauty blenders here, so that you can get that like photo finish, that like really flawless look, because it makes a really big difference when you're using your perfector and you're using it right, to go from kind of just looking like you have makeup on your face to having that like perfect flawless finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting my foundation on, and as you guys hop in here, say hi. I've been totally distracted today. I was planning on doing this live video like 2 hours ago and I got my little baby down for his nap and was walking down the stairs and saw that it was snowing outside, and I have been so distracted by the snowing. I like just keep watching it, and then I'll finally kind of like be like, okay, I need to get something done, and I'll walk away from it, and then all of a sudden the next thing I know it's like snowing really hard again, and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, and I have to watch it again. So if anybody is in here that's in Vegas, did you guys see snow today too? And how ridiculous are we in Vegas that we're like nothing even stuck to the ground. There's just been flakes falling through the sky, and we're like spazzing out like little kids on Christmas morning. Like we don't know how to act like it's snowing. But I've been in Vegas for 12 years. And I think I've seen it snow here maybe like twice. So it's a pretty rare occurrence. I'm a little bit bummed that my kids are at school and couldn't, I mean, I'm sure they're looking out the windows and enjoying the snow too there, but it's been fun to like actually see it here. It would have been fun to have their cute little faces seeing it here. And I'm breaking out, which is pain in the butt. And really, this is like the first breakout that I've had since I started using our Tres Leches, last August. I haven't had like any breakouts, and so I like don't remember what to do about having breakouts. So we're gonna go over a little breakout coverage, I guess, too today, because I've got that happening. So that should be fun. And for any of you guys who don't know or haven't seen any of my posts, I have been challenged by my mentor to do 40 faces in 40 days. And so I took her challenge. And so I'm trying to do 40 faces in 40 days, whether that's, if you live local and we can get together and do like a full face of makeup, or if you live long distance and I can just do like a long distance color match. Either of them count, but I have to do 40 faces in 40 days. So if you think you might be up for it or willing to let me use your face, then I would love to use your face for my challenge. This is for these are like 40 new faces. So if I've already done a makeover on you, it wouldn't count for me to use your face for my new challenge. Not that I don't appreciate you wanting to come and get more makeovers, and we can absolutely do it. But for this challenge, it doesn't count unless they're brand new faces. So, all right. So I'm just getting my highlight on right now. I'm gonna come in here with my opposite end of my brush and get my contour, which I wear olive, and for those of you who have been waiting for it, it's back in stock. Just put some of that contour right up underneath that cheekbone. And don't be scared of your contour. Like, you want to be able to see it. You're gonna blend it out with the perfector. We're gonna be doing that here in a minute. But you want to make sure you put it on so you can see it. I know sometimes people, when they're very first putting this on, they want to put it on really light. They want to make sure all the edges are really blended. And so they don't put enough on, and then they go to use their perfector and they feel like their perfector is taking all the makeup off. Well, it is gonna take just a tiny bit off, only because it's blending and it's evening everything up. So you wanna make sure that you've got plenty on to start before you start blending. Because if you have it just right and you are, if you've got the color on just right and you don't want to lose any of it at all and you start to blend, then you can totally feel like you're taking too much off and like you don't have much left on after. So be generous with it. I know I'm very typically telling people they're using too much makeup, because with this makeup you need so little. But with the contour, I'm usually telling people to put a little bit more on. So don't be scared of your contour. And it's okay if it looks a little crazy. It's gonna look that way until we blend it. On my forehead, I do like to blend just a little bit with my brush, but I'm not putting less on. I put a lot on, and then I just kind of blended where they were meeting together. All right, let me get just a little bit more here. Come under that jawline, back here. And if you like to drag your contour down a little bit, if you just drag right here where there's naturally kind of some shadowing happening anyways, it'll really kind of help to thin out your neck as you drag it down. You usually don't want to cover like your whole neck in a shadow. Sorry, my alarm was going off. Your whole neck's not going to be shadowed, just the underneath part here is. So we're going to cover that. And then I like to go through, once I've gone through and covered all this redness with my darker highlight color, I like to go through with a little bit lighter highlight color and kind of hit this little triangle zone right here to really brighten everything up. And I'm taking that just like from the corner of my eye down to about the edge of my nose. Sometimes you could go from the corner of your eye down to almost your lip if you felt like you needed a little bit more brightening. But you just want to make sure that you don't ever just go right underneath your eye and give yourself raccoon eyes. Raccoon eyes are not fun. Okay, so I've got my little brightness there. I'm going to come back in and pick up just a little bit more contour. And I'm just using the side of my 30-second hack brush. So I'm not doing a really detailed nose contour. I'm just going to kind of run it just right along the bridge of my nose right there. You can see there's just that little line. So it's not going to be a super distinct, super strong nose contour. Just something really soft and subtle. And then I'm just running that brighter highlight right up and down my nose. And for a minute, it's gonna look kind of crazy until we get everything blended, and that's okay. We can leave it looking just a little bit crazy. Okay, now I'm gonna come in with my, here we go, my Frenchy blush, and smile, and tap it right onto your cheek, the apples of your cheeks. And once you've got the bulk of the color right there on the apples of your cheeks, then you can work your way back. Right up to that temple. And you're just kind of hovering right above where that contour is. So as you're putting on your cheek color, you're kind of going to be blending that contour just a little bit. Hey guys! Did you guys see my live video? We got snow today. I've been spazzing out like a little kid. Hey! Okay. All right, so we've got our highlight, our contour. We did some nose contouring, some cheek color. I'm just kind of putting a little bit of highlight to blend that cheek because you want to make sure your cheek color is not coming clear up underneath your eye. You want to keep this nice triangle pane. Nice. It's 88. Oh my gosh. Okay, it was like in the high 70s and 80s here for like 2 weeks. we were like planting flowers and we're like, oh, it's springtime. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like winter again. Oh, it's snowing there. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so fun. I'm just sad that the kids are at school and I'm not experimenting or experiencing the snow with them today. All right. All right, so we've got like the basics of the foundation on here. Now I'm gonna show you guys before I even do my eyeshadow or eyebrows or anything. I wanna go over with you how to use your perfector to really get that flawless finish. Because I know so often I'll post pictures or something and you guys will comment and say, wow, like my makeup never looks that smooth. It never looks that like flawless look. And so I want to kind of show you guys how to get it. And maybe it's just that my pictures aren't close enough up. I need to get closer so you can see all the flawlessness. But basically the first step is, so here's the perfectors. Now you don't ever want to use your perfector dry. Teach us all the things. Yeah, right. You could teach us all the things too. Okay, so you don't ever want to use your perfector dry. Because we're using a cream-based makeup, if you put your dry sponge on your face, it is going to try to suck up all the moisture in that cream makeup and it's going to try to pull it right off your skin. So the first thing is you want to use it wet. So I usually just take mine in the bathroom and run it under, some water. And what I'll do is I'll let it fill up. I'm using a bowl today because I'm not in my bathroom. But what I'll do is I'll let it fill up completely with water and then squeeze it really tight, squeeze all the water out, and then I'll fill it up again and let it fill up all the way and then squeeze all the water out. And I'll do that like 2 or 3 times because you really want to make sure it gets like completely full of water. We want to make sure that there's no dry spots left in this little sponge. Then once you've done that and you've really rinsed it and you've made sure there's no dry spots left, then you're going to take just like a hand towel or whatever in your bathroom and put your little perfector sponge in there and then just squeeze it. So this way your perfector sponge is all expanded. It's got just enough moisture in it that it's not going to pull moisture off your face, but it really doesn't feel wet. It shouldn't really feel damp. It shouldn't really feel wet. It just has that tiny bit of moisture in it. And you can see when you do that, it totally expands. So when I held these up before, they were like the same size. So now it's totally expanded. And the texture of them is totally different. See, this one is a lot more stiff because it's not expanded, whereas this one is really, really soft and squishy. So you want to make sure that you've got it to this state where it's all expanded, it's got some moisture in it, and it's nice and soft and squishy. Because if you're using it dry and it's really stiff, it's going to pull off more makeup too. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to use a sort of, I call it like a tap and roll motion, where you're going to tap it onto your skin, and you can see how lightly I'm pressing it. This is really, really squishy, and I'm just barely touching it onto my skin, but you're going to kind of tap and roll your perfector to get that really nice finish. So you're just going to go over all the spots where we kind of switched from one color to another color and just kind of tap and roll. And I always say to make sure that you're tapping and rolling the highlight into the contour versus the contour into the highlight, if that makes sense. So we're just kind of tap and roll this. So down here I'm kind of rolling more up to roll that highlight down there up into that contour and kind of back. But we're just doing this little tap and roll motion, and you can see how very lightly this is touching my skin. This is not a strong motion. It should never be dragging across your skin. And then when you come up to your nose, I'm just going to tap right on, just tapping back and forth, up and down, right where I put that contour on that outer edge. I'm not tapping a whole lot right up the center because I really want that to stay bright all I'm really trying to do with this is kind of melt that contour into where that bright highlight color is. So we're just gonna tap that in. And then I like to take and also tap it in really lightly under your eyes, and you can use a little pointy end and get right under your eyes. And again, it's just a very gentle, barely tapping motion. And again, this does not feel wet on my face. It feels maybe a little bit cold from the moisture that's in it, but it really doesn't feel wet. Hold on. Guys, I was having major technical difficulties today. My phone is like jerry-rigged into my light, which I just now realized I never turned on, and I'm doing this in the dark. So hopefully you guys can see me. All right. And then same thing around your chin, just kind of tapping that. Are you laughing at me? All right. And that's really all there is to it. If you go through with your perfector and you still don't feel like it blends and it has that really flawless finish, maybe you didn't quite go and put enough on in the first place. So like I'm looking here right now and I still feel like my forehead isn't as flawless as I wish it were. Ain't it the truth, y'all? Ain't it the truth? So I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna put a little bit more highlight on here. That's one word for it. All right, so that my forehead just wasn't bringing that like flawless finish quite as much. So I just went ahead and put a little bit more highlight on there. And I'm gonna come back through with my perfector that just fell on the floor and just kind of tap and roll and blend that back into my contour again here. So if you want that total, complete, flawless finish, sometimes you do have to go a little bit heavier on it. You know, when I'm doing photos and stuff, I tend to put my makeup on a little bit heavier than what I would just for every day hanging around the house or whatever. I don't put it on nearly as heavy as I do when I'm doing photos. So if I were to take a picture like any other day, it probably wouldn't look as flawless because I wouldn't have as much on. So that may be something that you're looking at as well. If you're not getting that perfect flawless finish, is maybe you don't always have to have that like perfect flawless photo finish, you know, like if you're just going to work, you're carting the kids back and forth to and from school, sometimes you don't have to have that. You can have just like, hey, this is me makeup, not like supermodel photo makeup. But when you do want that, now you kind of have an idea with the perfector how to get that, and hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, let me know and I can help you with those. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my look here. So if you have any questions, please post them, please ask. I'm more than happy to help. Because my phone is jerry-rigged, I'm like looking through straps of ribbon to put my brows on today. I guess I could turn my light on now that I realized it wasn't on. But now it feels weird, like if I add my light, it will be too bright. Have you guys had luck using your perfector and feeling like it's giving you, like helping you get that flawless finish? I am like dragging today. So I like to take this, I take it's called High Fitness class. It's like the most fun ever. I've always enjoyed like exercising or something. I guess like enjoyed, like I kind of like it. Like I have like a love-hate relationship with it. And a while back, one of my good friends started teaching these fitness classes. They're called High Fitness. And it is basically like, it's kind of like HIIT, like intense interval training type of stuff. The love-hate relationship with the light. Oh my gosh, I know. I made sure it was working today, and then I forgot to turn it on. So, you know, it's just my life today. So it's a really, really intense class, but it's so fun. So it's like a high intensity interval training type of class, but it's dancing, kind of dancing. It's not like Zumba, like dancing, like I'm not so good at that. But it's really fun, and it's to like good music, and it's super high energy, and it's like an hour long, and I like have my little like step and heart rate monitor and stuff, and I usually do almost 4,000 steps in a class to give you like an idea of like how crazy it is, and usually burn like 600 or 700 calories. And last night, in support of my cute friend that does this class, I actually went to 2 back-to-back classes. And I think one of them was a little bit shortened. It was only like 40 minutes. But man, I tell you what, like halfway through the second class, I was like barely moving. They're like, jump! And I'm like, did my feet leave the ground? I'm like, it was bad. It was really bad. And I put a little shadow contour under here. Maybe not quite that much. Anyway, so like I knew that I was really pushing my limits and gonna be tired, but I woke up this morning and I turned my alarm off and slept in for like 2 hours. I totally felt like I got hit by a train. It was ridiculous. And I feel like I've been recovering all day. I like barely got the kids off to school, and then as soon as they were gone, I like laid on the couch and fell asleep for like an hour, which for anyone who knows me, like that's not me. I don't take naps. I don't sit down. I don't like sitting and doing these makeup tutorials or a hair tutorial or something. That's like the longest that I sit ever. So to like say that I sat down and laid down and took a nap for an hour today, yeah, I felt like I was gonna die. So, all right, there is that. Oh, and we need to get our illuminator on here. And your illuminator goes right here up on that cheekbone, just to about the corner of the eye back to the temple. You don't ever want to drag that illuminator down under your eye. That's a mistake that I see done a lot. And it kind of drags down your face right there. Can make you feel older than you are. We don't want to be looking older than we are. I don't even want to look as old as I am. Am I right? Okay. Put a little bit there. Put a little bit here. And just because it's snowing outside, we're going to do a little something fun and wintry today, I think. So I'm going to put this on a little bit heavier than what I normally do. This is my Pearl Illuminator. And I'm actually going to run my Pearl Illuminator all the way across my eyelid here. It's going to give me a little bit of a tacky base, and it's white, so it's going to lighten that base so you can see my color a little better. But it's also going to, because it's got that illumination, it's got that shimmer factor to it, it's going to keep my look looking really shimmery today. All right. Where's my... And I'm so excited. For any of you who haven't gotten our clutch yet, I was a little bit skeptical about it at first because I felt like I couldn't put all my brushes in it and it would hold everything. But guys, these are like genuine leather, and I just kept putting my stuff in it, and now it's like, it stretches like a baseball glove or whatever. And now, like, it holds all, I'll show you how much. This is how much makeup brushes is in my clutch. Isn't that amazing? Like, they all just fit in my little pocket back here. I'm sorry, my alarm keeps going. So all my brushes fit back here, closes, and then all my makeup's up here. Isn't that fun? Like, how awesome is that? Okay, now I'm done bragging on my clutch for a second. Let me find my eyeshadow brush and decide what we're gonna do today. So we have 1 week left with my February specials. The February special this month is I have my eyeshadow palette that I put together for you guys. It has either Sabrina or Rome. It has Bend and Snap. Bend and Snap is this beautiful one here. It has Bright Eyes, which is this pretty copper one. And it has Cocoa, which is on my next level here, right here. It's like a nice, pretty, just chocolate brown. So, if you order my eyeshadow palette, it's called Breaking Out, because it's just kind of breaking out of your comfort zone, not like breaking out like this. If you order the eyeshadow palette Breaking Out before the end of the month, it's $56. You get the 4 colors and you get the compact for free. If you order that eyeshadow palette before the end of the month, you get a free gift from me. A fun little surprise. So anyone who wants that, you can either message me or you can go to mascarabeauty.com/Britta's Beauties, and then make sure you put in my party number, which is 21511. All right, so today we're gonna put on London, which is this really pretty like neutral, kind of purpley gray. And I'm just gonna kind of run this on my crease. I'm not really putting it down here on the mobile lid because I want to keep that nice and bright. We just put that pearl on there, and so I want to try to keep that pearl base. So we're just gonna put that London, and I'm just using the fluffy end of my eyeshadow everything brush, kind of hitting it initially on that outer corner, and then just kind of windshield wipering it up to that brow bone, but not in front of the brow bone. Just right there. And now I'm going to use the other end of my brush, and I'm going to come in here with my Bend and Snap. You guys can really see how pretty this color is. And I'm just going to kind of tap it on or press it in. So that's why I'm using this smaller end, because I really want to make sure that that shimmery color and all of the beauty of Bend and Snap, really you can see it. Sometimes with these shimmery colors, if you brush them on, some of that fluff and brushing motion brushes off some of that shimmer, and that shimmer has color to it. And so when you brush off some of that shimmer, you kind of lose the tonality of the color sometimes. So when you're using the shimmery colors, if you press them in and then you just blend around the edges, you'll get a lot more true color to what you see in your palette. All right, I'm gonna take just a little bit of that Bend and Snap underneath. All right, we're gonna take just a little bit of our Rome here, which is another one included in our palette this month, and just kind of tap it on that inner area, and it just kind of hits that inside corner and then blends right up to that Bend and Snap. So maybe about a quarter of the way across that mobile lid right there. Just enough to kind of blend everything together. All right, and then I'm going to come in with my, let's see, we'll come in with the Cocoa here, and I'm just tapping just a tiny bit on that point of my brush and just hit this outer corner, kind of work it right into that crease a little bit, and then we'll do the same thing over here. And again, just kind of really tightly pull that in right under your eye. Ooh, snowy, wintry look for my fun, snowy Vegas day. Still is so weird. Oh, now it's not snowing anymore. Now it looks sunny outside. Naturally. All right, just make sure everything is blended good. You never want to see a line in here. You want to make sure that all of that just makes really nice, smooth transitions. Unless you're doing like a cut crease or something, you really don't want to see those kind of lines. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my mascara and finish up this look here. Oh, I didn't do my lips yet. What color should I put on my lips today? And I'm not sure why I always forget to curl my lashes before my eyeshadow when I do videos. I don't ever curl my lashes after I do eyeshadow. But for some reason when I'm doing videos, I always forget. I think I just get so excited to show you guys different looks and eyeshadow colors that I forget. All right. I think I'm ready for a new mascara. All right, I gotta hit my light on for this one, I think. Woo! There I am. I did the whole thing without my light, but I couldn't do my mascara without it. Gotta see what I'm doing. It's funny because whenever I do makeovers, I always tell everybody to bring their own mascara, and sometimes I feel like people look at me like I'm crazy, like, aren't you the makeup artist? Why do you want me to bring my own makeup? But everyone has their own, like, I feel like mascara is the one thing that everyone is so picky about. And even like major big time professional makeup artists that I've known have used like the cheapest like drugstore mascara. And I feel like everybody just has like their kind of mascara they like, and there's no changing. I've used the one that I use that I love for like as long as I can remember. And every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I should try a new one. And I'll buy a bunch of new ones to try, and I always hate them, and I always come back to this one. So it's kind of funny how we a little bit get stuck in our ways when it comes to mascara. All right. I feel like my light is blaring me. Woo, that's better. I needed the light, but I don't need that much light. All right. What should we put on my lips today? Should we do something fun? Let's see. How about, yeah, we're gonna do some black cherry, because we did kind of like a subtle, soft, cool eye. We'll kind of contrast it with some black cherry lips. Let's find my brush here. Here we go. All right, so black cherry, so this is a lip and cheek color. I don't usually spend quite so much time on my lips, but when you're using a little bit brighter or darker color, you really gotta get it on just right. "99% of the time I just like take my finger and throw it on there. All right. So there's my black cherry. Isn't that pretty? However, I got my light back on over here. And now I'm like very aware of all the, we need to cover a couple little spots here. So, I've got a clean brush and not put eyeliner all over my pimples and make them look worse. Not make them look worser. All right, I don't ever like to do any blemish coverage until after my face is done, because most of the time the makeup itself is going to cover it. But when it doesn't, come through after and just hit a little bit extra highlight right on where those little blemishes are. Gone. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions about using your perfector and really working it to get that like perfect flawless finish, post them below, message me, and I'll be more than happy to help you troubleshoot and figure those things out. But thanks for watching me. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys later.